This is the Power 3 podcast, and this is your host, Sean Bishop. And thank you for joining the podcast. And I'm here to bring you the college game day recap and post game of today's games in the NCAA college football. We had a great day of college football, just as I expected and just like I thought. We did have a couple of upsets, a few that I did call and a few that I didn't. So let's go ahead and get it started with today's games. First, let's talk about Friday's game, which was yesterday. The number 7 Stanford fell to the number 10 Washington Huskies. I picked Stanford, but the Washington Huskies blows out Stanford 44-6. McCaffrey's son just couldn't get it done for Stanford, so they come up short. That has them 3-1, and the Huskies are now 5-0. Moving on to Saturday's games, we had the number 2 ranked Ohio State hosting the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and just like I stated, Ohio State blew out Rutgers 58-0. Then we had a great game, but with the ranked 13 Baylor Bears playing the unranked Iowa State Cyclones, which I said Baylor was going to win, which they did 45-42, but they did get a scare from the Iowa State Cyclones. Iowa State was up at one point by at least 14 points, and Baylor fought back to come back and get the win 45-42, which I picked Baylor as well. Then we had the number 14 ranked Miami going up against the unranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Miami come away with the win 35-21. I picked Miami in that game. Then we had the number 2 Arkansas Razorbacks playing against Alcorn State. They blow out Alcorn State 52-10. Of course, I picked Arkansas to win that game. Then we had one of the games that I was looking forward to, the number 22 Texas playing the unranked Oklahoma State Cowboys. And this was one of my upset games, and so shall it be an upset. Oklahoma State upsets Texas 49-31. So Texas should fall out of the rankings after this game coming on Tuesday. They should fall out of the top 25 rankings. Now we have the 23 ranked Florida Gators playing against Vanderbilt. They won 13-6. I expected Florida to beat them by more than that, but they did get the win, so I picked that game as well. Then we have the number 8 Wisconsin Badgers playing against the number 4 Michigan Wolverines. This game was a tighter game than I expected. I knew it was going to be a tight game. It wasn't a whole lot of scoring, but Michigan walks away with the win 14-7 in that game. Then we have the number 11 Tennessee Volunteers playing the number 25 Georgia Bulldogs. This game here was an amazing game. This game, they went back and forth. And Tennessee throws an amazing Hail Mary at the end of the game to defeat Georgia. Let me see if I can get that game or get that footage for you here now. That's not what I want to do. Let's do this. So yes, this game, amazing. With like 4 seconds left on the clock, Tennessee throws a Hail Mary with 4 seconds left on the clock to get the win over Georgia. So let me see if I can get this for you. I want to show you this for those that may not have been able to catch this game. Let's see. Let's go right here. Let's see if we can get this real quick. Let's see. Hopefully this is it. Man, that was a good game. And also, what was also a good game was the game in which I just finished watching, which was the Louisville and Clemson game. An amazing game that came down to the wire. Everyone, it came down to the wire. So let's go ahead and make this big so y'all can see it. And let's let it play. Here we go. This is the game right here. With 4 seconds left on the clock, this is what happens in this game. The score is 28-31. Tennessee was battling back. They were down at one point. Tennessee went up. Then Georgia went back up. And now Tennessee went back up again. And then Georgia went up with a few seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter. And this is what the outcome was. Check it out. He drops back. Throws the hand, and he comes down with the catch. They defeat the Georgia Bulldogs. Unbelievable. 34-31. Unbelievable. Look at that. What an amazing catch. What an amazing catch. So, that being said, they won that game, and it is what it is. You gotta wow. You just gotta wow from it. So, that's that game. So, moving on. As you saw, Tennessee defeats the Georgia Bulldogs 34-31. Moving on, you have the North Carolina Tar Heels facing the number 12 ranked Florida State Seminoles. Florida State, just like I stated, isn't the Florida State of old like they used to be. I picked Florida State to beat North Carolina. North Carolina comes back and beats them with a winning field goal to defeat the Florida State Seminoles 37-35. Then you have, the number 15 ranked Nebraska playing Illinois, the Fighting Illini. They won 31-16. Then you have Texas A&M with Trevor Knight, like I expected. Trevor Knight, like I spoke about earlier, ranked number 9. Texas A&M ranked number 9, playing the unranked South Carolina Gamecocks. They won 24-13. I picked them. And then you have my boys, Boomer Sooners. The Boomer Sooners, who are unranked, who came into this game 1-2, going up against the number 21 ranked TCU Horned Frogs. This game too was a good game because Oklahoma was up by more than 18 points at one time, and TCU fought back to win this game, to get it back in this game. But unfortunately, they came up short, and Oklahoma wins the game 52-46 over the number 21 ranked TCU Horned Frogs. Then you have the 18th ranked Utah Utes playing unranked California, the Cal Golden Bears. I spoke about this game. I should have picked Cal. My hunch was to pick Cal because I knew Cal had already beaten Texas earlier this season, like 2 weeks ago, and I really felt like they had a chance to beat Utah, but I did pick Utah, and Cal did defeat Utah 28-23. So I lost that game. And then, of course, we have the number 1 ranked team in the nation, Alabama Crimson Tide, playing against the Kentucky Wildcats. Of course, that was a blowout, 34-6, which I picked. Then we had the Memphis Tigers playing the number ranked 16 Ole Miss. Ole Miss blew them out 48-28. I picked that as an upset. I felt like Memphis would come in and get the win. They were 3-0. But unfortunately, they did not. They lose 48-28 to Ole Miss. Then we had the game in which I just spoke about. And this game probably was one of the most exciting games of the weekend. We had the number 3 Louisville Cardinals playing up against the number 5 Clemson Tigers. That means we had Lamar Jackson going up against Deshaun Watson. Now, understand this. Lamar Jackson is probably the biggest candidate for the Heisman race right now. This man has over 25 touchdowns total, and we're only in week 5 of the college game schedule. But unfortunately, the Louisville Cardinals, I picked Louisville to win this, so I lost this game. Unfortunately, Louisville comes up short to the Clemson Tigers, losing 42-36. In that game, what I will say, Lamar Jackson had a great game. Deshaun Jackson threw 3 interceptions. I don't think he only had one one touchdown, I believe, but he threw 3 interceptions. The thing about this, Louisville was driving toward the end of the game. This was the game I was watching before I came on and doing this broadcast. Louisville was driving. It was like 3rd and 7, and they missed. They didn't get to 3rd and 7, so it was 4th and 7. They had to go for it because it was like under a minute left in the game. Lamar Jackson, it was 4th and 7. They're bringing everybody. Clemson's bringing everybody after Lamar, so he doesn't have time to sit in the pocket and make a completion in the score and win the game for him. So right before that, the line jumps, the offensive line jumps, pushes him back, makes it 4th and 12. So now it's further, but they're on the little under the 20-yard line, I want to say. Something like that. Yeah, maybe the 15, 16, 17-yard line, something like that. But either way, it's 4th and 12 now. The ball is hiked. Lamar Jackson throws to his receiver Quick, who is doing an out route, like a 3 to 5 or 5 to 7 yard out route toward the sidelines. Now, they don't have any timeouts left. Again, I state it's 4th and 12. They can get they can get a first down. They don't have to necessarily get a touchdown. They can get a first down. So like I said, he throws the ball to the wide receiver Quick on an out route for like 3 to 5 or 7 out, 3 to 5 or 7 yard out toward the sidelines. He's probably 10 yards away from the sideline when he throws this out though. The receiver commences to head up field, or he continues to go towards the sideline. Then he heads up toward the sideline. Now with under a minute left and you have no timeouts left, and it's 4th and 12, you have to do whatever you have to do as a receiver to get that first down. You have to fight for those yards. This receiver goes directly toward the sideline, which a smart DB, which he was smart for Clemson, all he did was made contact with the receiver and forced him out of bounds. That is not what you want. As a receiver, as a coach, you want your receivers to fight for every yard. That's what this game is about, fighting for that yard to get that win. That was a mistake on that receiver. He should have never done it. A lot of people may try to blame that on Lamar Jackson, but you can't. You have to blame that on the receiver. He has to have the fight in him to go ahead and fight for that extra yard. He came up probably about a yard, maybe a yard and a half short from getting the first down. That's just unacceptable. And the only reason is he had an opportunity. He used the defender, the defensive back used the sideline as well. I won't even say he used it as an extra defender because the sideline is an extra defender, but Quick, the wide receiver, had an opportunity to cut it inside and fight for that extra yard and a half, and he probably could have got it because he had the forward momentum to give him that 1.5 or 1 yard for the first, but he didn't do it. He allowed the defender to clip his legs and put him out of bounds, and he was a yard and a half short. That's why Louisville fell short in this game. Not saying they would have scored a touchdown, but they may have gotten the first down and had a couple of more opportunities to score a touchdown. But Louisville falls to Clemson 42-36. So Louisville will probably fall from the number 3 rankings come Tuesday. Then we had the number 17 ranked Michigan State lose in overtime to the unranked Indiana Hoosiers. So that's 2 losses for Michigan. They also should fall out the top 25 come Tuesday when they come out with the new rankings. And then also, number 19 ranked San Diego State loses to South Alabama. They're ranked 19th and they lose to South Alabama 42-24. That is another team that should fall out of the rankings after Tuesday once the new rankings come out. And then the game that is still playing currently right now is Boise State, who's ranked 24th, is hosting the Utah Aggies. And in that game, Boise's up 7-3. It's only 7-3, and it's at halftime, I believe. It was halftime the last time I checked. So just know it was some great games this weekend. It really was. I personally, just because I'm a Sooners fan, I'm going to talk about the Sooners real quick. I feel, my personal opinion, I do feel like, and I think I spoke about this on my previous podcast, before these games. I talked about this briefly in regards to Bob and Mike Stoops. I really feel, and this is my personal opinion, I think it's time, and I'm reiterating because I'm pretty sure I spoke about this on my prior podcast. I reiterate, it is time for the Stoop brothers to hit the Stoops. It's time for them to go. It's time for them to get out of Norman. They are no longer doing what they used to do. The reason why that game, the Oklahoma and the TCU game, was so close, when I say there was no defense on the Oklahoma side, well, either on the TCU side either, but I'm talking about my team. This quarterback, the quarterback for TCU, in the second half, they scored like 24 unanswered points. 2 of them, and almost 3 of them, but 2 of them was straight bombs. Threw straight bombs down the field, straight bomb. TCU has a gentleman. Wears number 2. He is a track star for TCU. So all he does is just run fly routes, go routes, and he's burning the DBs. Burning. When I say burning them, they're at least 10 to 15 yards behind him when the quarterback for TCU was throwing the ball to him. That's how far he was burning these guys. And Stoops, you can't teach speed. I understand that, but you can get in the defense to protect. And he was throwing the ball straight over the middle of the field, bombs. I mean, I think it was like each one was at least 50 to 60 yard bombs, touchdowns. That's why that game was so close. So I really feel like it's time for the Stoop brothers to get up out of Norman and go somewhere else. Like this, Bob and his brother Mike, because the defense is so suspect. They are horrible. I think this is the worst I've ever seen Oklahoma's defense in my whole time of being an Oklahoma Sooner fan, and I've been an Oklahoma Sooner fan since I was small. I think this is the worst I've ever seen the Oklahoma Sooner defense. Horrible. And then I'm even suspect about the Oklahoma offensive play calls. They're doing a lot of screen plays, 1-yard screen plays that they're throwing to wide receivers, like they're on the goal line or something, and they're doing this in their own like red zone or on their own side of the field. That's unnecessary. That's another reason why TCU got back in this game. They went away from the run game, which they should have stayed with the run game because Samaje Perine had a decent game, so they should have stayed with the run game, but they didn't. But we came away with the win. So that's the big story. That's the big thing about it. We did come away with the win, but still, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all. That just it's time for the Stoops to hit the Stoops. Head on out. Go to LSU, wherever else, or somewhere where there's a coaching job available for you and your brother. But it's time for y'all to leave Norman. I don't think y'all have what it takes to stay in Norman anymore. Hopefully they will move them up out of there because they've had a good run. I will give them that. They had a good run, but everybody's run comes to an end. And I feel like theirs has come to an end. So with that being said, I've given you the NCAA college football top 25 recap of today's games. Again, like I said, there were some great games going on. I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot of switching around of these top ranked 25 teams because of these losses. Florida State lost, San Diego State lost, Texas lost, TCU lost. Of course, I just talked about Louisville. They lost, but they lost to a team that was just 2 ranks below them, which was Clemson. So it's just a lot of losses that happened today. Utah lost, so it's gotta switch around. I'm not saying Oklahoma should be back on the top 25, but there's a lot of teams that got losses who got 2 losses now, and they're still in the top 25, and we're one of those teams. We're not in the top 25, but we got 2 losses. So, but the big game next week, I'm gonna do a definite recap on this game. My beloved Oklahoma Sooners play in the Red River Shootout next weekend, October the 8th, against, of course, the Texas Longhorns. Longhorns down. Believe that. So, with that being said, again, thank y'all for watching the Power 3 podcast. This is your boy, Sean Bishop. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to our channel. and let me know that you like it. Give it a thumbs up, and also share my channel with anybody that may be into college football and want to hear some some commentary about the games and my predictions and things like that. Just share my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And again, thank y'all. I hope y'all had a great college football Saturday. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all Saturday and college football Saturday. I will see y'all later on to give you the NFL predictions that's going to happen tomorrow. Which they do have a special, which is an early game that's at 9:30 because they're playing 9:30 Eastern time in the morning because they're playing in London. So I will definitely get that out there about tomorrow's predictions. But again, thank y'all. Y'all have a great night. This is your boy from the Power 3 Podcast, Sean Bishop. Peace. God bless you and have a great night. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.